Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to Aexenfell. So, this is part 3, and in this episode we're going to do the town blacksmith and then the house of the blacksmith that sits directly behind it. So for this build I actually wanted to do something a little bit different and take it away from the angular sort of structures that we have here in Aexenfell, and I wanted to go with a traditional sort of Viking style longhouse. Not too sure if I pulled it off. The roof is actually kind of high for what I wanted, but I guess it kind of makes sense with the blacksmith. You have a bunch of smoke and stuff in there, so you would need a higher roof to kind of condense the smoke down into to get it out of your workspace. So I guess that does kind of work. So anyways, guys, I actually don't have any lore for this episode. I was trying to come up with some, trying to push it in time for this episode, but I just couldn't. So hopefully you guys will forgive me for that. If you missed the lore in the last episode, episode 2, make sure you pop back, check that out, and see kind of how that is. See sort of how I have the world kind of built up, as it were. Episode 4 will have more lore though, as I'm sure by the time I get around to doing episode 4, I will have more lore kind of fleshed out and stuff. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I'll be back for the walkthrough at the end of the episode, and for now, just sit tight and enjoy the time lapse. Alright guys, so before we start this walkthrough, I do want to just throw this out there that apparently I never did a walkthrough for this build. So I continued to build onto the into Aexenfell here for episode 4. So I don't want to look down towards the rest of the town because the builds for episode 4 are down there. Furthermore, any place you see an orange wool block, like right here beside of me, that is a build that hasn't been like randomized yet, or a block that hasn't been randomized yet. So if you do see any orange blocks, just disregard them. So the path from the city is going to come up here from my right hand side. So from down here, it's going to come on up and then cross up through there. We're also going to have some stuff up here behind us. But then you can step off of the path to come to the stairs to come up to the blacksmith. So here in the blacksmith, like I said before, Aexenfell doesn't have an army per se, but what they do have are guards that the capital city sends down to Aexenfell. So for just a little bit of protection and just a little bit of fun, I suppose the blacksmith goes, he makes axes, helmets, there's swords and stuff as well for like training purposes and for just the normal person to come and buy. Same with the axes. He makes spears and stuff for the guards. He also makes these saw blades for the sawmill and for surrounding that kind of sawmills. He also has chains. I tried my hardest to kind of make these rounded. It's about as round as I could get them. And then I just put the wheel on it to where it kind of looks like maybe you can tilt these over or like tip them over and then like push them like on the wheels. I don't know. And then that way you don't have to carry like these huge spools of chain everywhere. this right here is another mod that I have. It's the, I think it's the custom NPCs mod, maybe. It gives me these weapon racks, and I can put weapons in here. So these are actually Viking swords, according to the mod pack. So if I type it in here, yeah, a Viking sword right here. This is part of the Askir mod, but I thought it made sense to put a Viking sword in the Nordic style build, right? So other than that, it's just a huge kind of open building, which, like I said in the time lapse, I thought it made sense to have a high roof. This is a little bit higher than I wanted it, but now that I'm in here looking, it doesn't actually look that bad with the support beams and stuff coming across. So over here on this side, there's actually more saw blades. So like the saw blades that the sawmill uses now, those are there, and then they can actually swap out to those sometimes, depending on what they're cutting. He has another one over here. We also have buckets of coal, or these are barrels of coal, I believe. Yeah. I know I said buckets. There's just another saw blade. Over here he has tools, so just kind of hanging there, and then another rack. He has his anvil. Whoops, let me get over here. His anvil with the sword and stuff on it that he's working on. Another block of iron, and then maybe like a paper that has some orders or something on it. Here's just a grindstone that every blacksmith has. My shaders don't play too well with it, so you gotta kind of forgive the black sort of screw ups there. Over here just has some more spare anvils. That one has a hammer on it. This one's just up on a log. There's another saw blade. Here he just has like a broom and like a pitchfork and stuff, maybe like stir around his coals. I don't know. And then over here's just more tools. This right here, I've been over this thing several times in my previous builds. But whenever you are blacksmithing with a coal forge, you need the fire to be basically as hot as possible. So in modern times, this is achieved with like a propane forge, where you can basically set the flow of gas, and that depends on, or that kind of sets how hot your fire is. But back whenever you use coal forges, even in modern coal forges, they have a thing called a blower in them, and basically it just blows air underneath of the fire, and then that causes the fire to burn hotter. So back in medieval times, I figured, or in these times, fantasy times, we still had to be grounded a little bit. But this is basically it's called a bellow, and it's basically just like an air bladder that you squeeze like this handle down, and it forces the air in this this mechanism out through the funnel, and then somehow under there to get underneath the coals, and then you get a hotter fire. So that's a bit of bit of a lesson for you guys that don't know. Is that all? No. So right here is a bit of a ladder. Oh, it is a ladder that you can climb up to. There's not much up here, but you could have something up here, maybe some storage or something. I didn't, because these are just whoops. Yeah, these are just board slabs. So only half of them have collisions. So you just drop down through them like that. But I thought it made it look a lot better than having a fully open space like on that side. So now moving on. This is the blacksmith's house. So it's basically just a straight rectangle. But if you come down here to this side, there's actually a storage spot underneath of the house. Sorry about that, got interrupted. But yeah, so he has this little storage area here under his house where he can store pretty much whatever he wants, right? So he can store like extra coal down here for his forge, extra metals that he would he would blacksmith, whatever else he really needs to put down here. That's what he can put down here. So now if you come up here to inside the house, it's pretty basic. Pretty much the same thing in all the other houses. He has some cloaks and stuff here, some meats hanging there over his furnace. He also has some herbs and stuff here, a chest under his stairs, just some stuff here on his table. Back here is just a storage area. So he has onions and stuff hanging here. He's got jams and stuff, apples, crates of apples, and then a broom. I actually really like this this model. I have no idea why, but it looks so non-Minecrafty that it just kind of, I guess, I don't know, it just kind of clicks with me. Yeah, so upstairs here, pretty much the same thing as always. So just you come up, and then the way the house is built, you have this little ledge right here. So for now, he just has a bucket. Whoops, a bucket, and this is an easel, but I just put it back there for decoration. He actually has clothes and stuff hanging up here out in the hallways like some of the other houses do. Another table, a barrel that has some stuff in it. And then there is 2 bedrooms in this house. So there's just a tiny little wardrobe, a little chest for his belongings, a shelf, just a little bit of a rug, you know, just some stuff in here, and then his bed. If we come over to the other side of the house, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just very basic in here because he spends most of his time out blacksmithing, and then the other room is maybe for a sibling that's here with him. I have no idea, or maybe even an apprentice. I guess that would make sense. So yeah, this house is the blacksmith and the apprentice. So we'll say that the apprentice lives over here in this room, since it's more basic and there's books. Maybe he's studying blacksmith or metallurgy. You know, just whatever kind of helps flesh out the world. So I will definitely have that in the history here of who all lives in what house. So if you guys can kind of give me some time whenever I put in the lore of the town here, or in the modern era of the town here, I'll kind of put down who all lives in what house, not names or anything, or I may go names. If you guys have some names you want to drop down in, or have some lore that you want to add on to, like into Aexenfell, please, by all means, or not even Aexenfell, just the world in general, please, by all means, drop it down in the comments, or I actually have a link to my Discord in the comments as well, and I believe some of my social medias. You can click on any of those. You can go follow me over there. You can send me a message on there as well, if you want it to be a little bit more of a private message. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me here today. I hope you really enjoyed it. There's one more good shot of the blacksmith. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more builds here in Selvara. Anyways, guys, I will see you later and catch you on the next one. See you later, guys.